everyone, and welcome, or hopefully it's welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. It's nice to meet you. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network, where we have over 25 live broadcasts each week, and we have a global audience. Our show today is brand new. It's called the Listening Post TV Talk Show. We have no agenda, just open hearts and minds. So you may be wondering to yourself, what does listening post even mean? Well, part of the work that I do, in addition to running this platform at USA Global TV and Radio, is I teach people how to listen at an elevated level. And I also have some team members who are part of our education platform at USA Global TV and Radio, offering courses to help us be better, feel better, and listen at a level that is higher and more authentic than what most people are listening. So today I'm just going to make you aware of some opportunities for you to learn how to listen. We're also going to take a look at a couple of role plays. And I feel role plays are really helpful to have us identify behavior that is not typically very effective. So when we think about listening at an elevated level, think about the last time you had a conversation with someone. Were they really listening to you? Were you really listening to them? Or were one or both of you doing some of these things, these behavior patterns that really prevent us from listening at an elevated level? So just play along with me and think about a conversation you had recently. When somebody was speaking and you were the one listening, were you fully present? Were you looking at your phone? Were you looking away? Were you looking at a television? Were you doing anything other than listening at 100% of commitment level? Were you in your head thinking? And this happens a lot. Somebody's talking, and then somebody will say, when you were talking, I just thought about. As soon as we hear that, that means the person stopped listening to what we were saying. They weren't listening at an elevated level. Now, a disclaimer, it's not possible to listen at an elevated level 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why? Because we have life that we need to live. We have things that we have to do. So part of what I teach you when you take our programs here at USA Global TV and Radio education courses is to set boundaries and ask for permission. So go back to that conversation that you were having with the other person who was listening or wasn't, and you were or you weren't. Did you set up a time to have this conversation? So in other words, did you say to the other person, Susan, I'd love to have a conversation with you. I need about 15 minutes of your time. Is now a good time? Or did you just walk into the room or pick up the phone or whatever it happened to be and just started blabbing? That's typically what we do most of the time. We don't ask for permission. Is this a good time for me to share something with you? And something else that comes up is we're very emotional creatures. And so when something happens, we want to tell somebody right away. Well, just because that's a good time for us, because we have something to share, that doesn't mean that it's a good time for someone else. So the whole purpose of listening at an elevated level is to give someone a space where they feel safe to share what it is they want to share. It's possible to be in a relationship with someone and not to be fully present. It's possible that you have relationship issues because you're not listening and the other person's not listening. It's possible that when you know how to set somebody's triggers, you know how to push somebody's buttons, that conversation and communication just breaks down. And we get into these patterns over and over and over again. If you've been in a relationship with someone for a long time, maybe it's even in your family, you can see these dynamics take place. You can watch where the conversation starts to go off the rails because we're not listening. And it takes work to listen. I listen to people on this platform all week long, week after week after week. And I have to be completely present to hear what they're saying. You won't see me cut somebody off and jump in to give them a solution because they didn't ask for a solution. But yet, how many times do we do that? I'll share a story and you're listening And then all of a sudden you give me a solution. Oh, I know what you need. Oh, I can help you fix that. I didn't ask you to fix it. I didn't ask you to tell me what I need, because how do you know what I need if I don't know what I need? But yet we do this all the time. Or I'm sharing a story and I say something that triggers you. Oh, is she Democrat? Is she Republican? Is she pro-abortion? Is she against abortion? What is she? And as soon as somebody says something, boom, we're no longer listening. We've labeled them, we've judged them, and now we have in our mind that he or she or they are something. And we're no longer listening to what they have to say. And that's what's been going on in this world. Judgment after judgment after judgment. Imagine if someone just shared how they felt about something. You might feel completely different, but you listened to what they had to say. You were curious about their point of view. That doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but you are giving them the opportunity to share their story without judging. All right, we're going to take a look at a role play. And we have two fabulous actors who have dedicated their time. I'll be putting their names into the comments so that you can follow them on social media. This role play is about judgment. One person judging the other. Let's take a look. We're actually going to watch it twice. Again, remember, this program is about listening. So I want you to listen and observe the behavior that you see. And if you feel inclined, you can put any comments into the chat. I love when people get engaged. Let's take a look at Fiona and Anavira.
Mary? Oh my God! Hey! Oh my God, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm perfect. Just got my third vaccination.
Oh, really? You did that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh no! It's so bad for your health. Did you know what you do there? Oh, it's so bad. You could die of it. Do you know what's in there? You really trust it? Oh my God, I would never trust that. I'm so healthy, I tell you. I never got this vaccination and I had it and it was no problem. It was really no problem for me. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're dying in 2 years.
Yeah, I don't care. I'd rather die of my vaccinations than from COVID.
Okay. Wow. Now, this happens all the time. This actually just happened the other day with me. One person believes in vaccinations, the other person doesn't. So what happens? The one person announces she just got her vaccination and the other person jumps all over her. What are you doing? Why did you do that? You could die. Wow. Imagine if you're the person receiving that information. So again, that's a role play, right? These are actors. So we're not, I'm just giving disclaimer. I directed them as to what they should do in the role play. But we're doing this in real life. We're doing this every single day in our real lives. Somebody says something that we don't like or we don't believe, and what do? We put them down. We insult them. Maybe we ignore them. Maybe we cut them off. Maybe we talk about them behind their back. Not good, not healthy, not listening. What could have taken place in that role play from the very beginning? Let's just watch the beginning and see if you have any ideas about how this could have been handled a little bit differently.
Mary? Oh my God! Hey! Oh my God, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm perfect. Just got my third vaccination.
Oh, really? You did that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh no! It's so bad for your health. Did you know what you do there? Oh, it's so bad. You could die.
Okay, so what happened? Two friends meet, they give each other a hug, really happy to see one another. And then one announces that she had the vaccination, and then the whole thing goes downhill. So when somebody tells you something that you are not in agreement with, do you have to give your opinion? Do you have to show them how you feel through your body language? Or could you just say, that's great, I'm happy for you? Can't you be happy for someone when they're happy? Why do you have to steal that moment and tell them what you think? because you're only one person. Are you an authority? Your information's come from somewhere else, correct? So that's what I'm saying. To be someone listening at an elevated level means we cannot judge what they're telling us. And if we do judge what they're telling, then we're no longer listening to them. We're in our own heads. So, my goal by having an elevated listening program is to bring awareness to some of these things that we do that really impede our ability to listen. You know when someone's listening to you. Think about a time in your life when you were speaking to someone and you knew they were fully engaged and present with what you were saying. And how did that feel? It feels good, doesn't it? It's like, wow, she was really listening to me. How does it feel when someone starts judging you? It doesn't feel good. And then what happens? There's a wall. All of a sudden now there's something between you and me. And it's going to take a long time to get past. And we may never be able to get past it. And that's what happens in long-term relationships when there's dysfunction in terms of effective or ineffective communication. We have this resentment. We have this anger because we know as soon as we tell our partner, our family member, our coworker how we're feeling, that they're going to react. They're going to give information about how we feel. How do you know how I feel? How can you judge how I feel? So again, this is not an ethics class. This is about listening. My goal is to give you tools to help you listen at an elevated level. So we talked about judgment. Let's talk about one more. This one drives me crazy. It's called stage hogging. Stage hogging is where you're telling a story and somebody jumps in and cuts you off and makes it their story. I went away for the weekend. I had a really good time. This isn't true, but I went away for the weekend. Oh, I went away for the weekend. Oh my gosh, we did this and we did that. Now I started telling my story, but you cut me off and you stole the stage. So now I'm sitting here with the story that I wanted to share. I brought it up, but you decided that you didn't want to hear my story because you think your story is better. Why is your story better? Why is your story more important? Why is my story not important? I feel unimportant right now because you weren't listening to me. How many times do we do this? It happens all the time in the workplace. Somebody is in a conference room having a discussion, and one person says something, somebody jumps in, they have a better answer, a better solution, they know more. And everybody knows these people. As soon as they start talking, you think, well, here he goes again, here she goes again. And then we're not listening because we're already expecting this person who loves the spotlight and they love to steal the stage to be on show, to be on display. This creates barriers. This creates walls between people, and it creates a lot of anger and resentment. Think about if you're working on a team, you have a team of people, or you're in a partnership, or with your family. People get angry. They get resentful because you won't stop talking. You will not stop and listen to what they have to say. Why is it what you have to say is so much more valuable than what they have to say? What if you actually gave time and space for the other person to share? And instead of you being in the spotlight, you gave somebody else that spotlight. Wow. Wait till you see what happens. Wait till you see how that person's face lights up and how your relationship with that person can change. That is part of elevated listening. It's taking the ego and leaving it at the door. It's about providing someone the opportunity to share their story without judging them, without providing a solution, without interrupting, and without stealing the stage. And when you do this, I promise you the level of respect, the emotional intelligence, the integrity that you will now have in a new type of relationship with this person It feels fantastic. And they'll tell other people, Susan really knows how to listen. I was having a conversation. She did not interrupt me. She listened to everything I had to say, and I really felt valued. That's what we're all looking for, isn't it? To feel valued, to feel safe, to feel respected. And yet we've got people constantly cutting each other off, constantly trying to one up with a story that they think is so much more important. You can watch this on network television all day long. Some of those reality TV shows, the people are literally screaming at each other. How can anyone have a conversation when they're screaming at each other? And then one just escalates off the other. It's painful. It's painful to watch. So that's not what we're about here. All team members at USA Global TV and Radio have to be certified as elevated listeners, which means they have to take the Power of Listening course. And I have opened this up to everyone. I am not getting rich doing this. It's $39. It is something that I feel is important for everyone in this world to learn how to listen. And so I've priced it at $39 to give as many people the opportunity to be able to take the course. Let's meet some of our elevated listeners. I'm going to share my screen, and I want to introduce them to you. All right, we're over here on our website, USA Global TV and Radio. You can just come over to Elevated Listeners. And here is a YouTube video. I teach people, I give them an overview of what elevated listening is. And now you can meet our team of elevated listeners. We've got Madeline, Caroline, Janetta, Justin, Jean, Roland, Diane, Mariska, Philip, Red, Amina, Al, Dr. Sadia, Debbie, Marcine, Tracy, Brenda, Doug, Alicia, Hajar, Hyatt, Kathy, Lorraine, Sonia, Connie, Maria, Felicia, Sarah, and Teuda. So when you take the course, you get added to the website here and also to my other website, which we'll take a look at, drjacalyn.com. So there's many benefits to learning how to listen at an elevated level. First of all, you're going to have better relationships. You're going to have more peace in your life. And isn't that important? And you might say to yourself, well, how does that happen? Because you're listening instead of arguing, instead of over talking. Think how much work it takes to cut somebody off and steal the stage. Think how much work it takes to come up with a solution. And, you know, men are famous for this. And it's not just men, it's people in general, but especially men. They feel this need to come up with an answer to help provide a solution. But nobody asked you for the solution. So all the work that you're putting into coming up with a solution for somebody else, if they didn't ask you, you don't have to do that work. You can sit back and listen. You can listen and take in the information that they're giving and just be a reflection, just be a mirror for them. You don't actually have to come up with an answer, but yet that's some of the things that we do. We feel pressured, inclined to come up with a solution. All right, so let's say you're interested in learning how to listen at an elevated level. What is it that you can do? Let me share my screen again. You can go over to drjacalyn.com. That's my other website, and you can get certified. And here, this is what I'm talking about. When you find the ability to listen at an elevated level, there is inner peace and elevated awareness with the power of listening. And you also get to join our team here at USA Global TV and Radio. We've got all kinds of testimonials here. And of course, then we also have the certificates of each person who has graduated from the course, and yours will go here as well. And then, of course, we also have the headshots and pictures of everyone who is on the team. So it's easy to be a part of this. I'm going to show you the graphic, and then I'll tell you where you can go. It's $39 to take the power of listening. And this is a 2-hour online course where you get your certificate of completion. And then again, your certificate, as I just showed you, goes onto our website along with your headshot. Now, why is this important? Because people know that you actually listen. When people are making decisions about who they want to work with, you don't think the fact that you know how to listen at an elevated level is a huge plus? Put it on your LinkedIn, put it on your website, take that certificate and let the world know, hey, guess what? I thought I was listening at an elevated level. And then I took this course and I realized, wow, my listening skills are not that great. You can change your listening skills in 2 hours with practice. So for a limited time, again, $39, just go over to drjacalyn.thinkific.com/collections, and I'll put this into the chat. So this television show going forward will be a space where our elevated listening team members will come and we will just have a chat. Just think about it like a late night talk show where people are just having a chat about things, actually listening at an authentic level. We also offer other courses. I mentioned setting boundaries and asking for permission. This is, again, what I was just speaking about, how you can ask for permission to share something with someone and also set boundaries. So let me give you an example of this. How many times do you pick up the phone to call someone? They answer the phone and you just go right into it. Oh, hi, yeah, I had this really bad day today at work. Hello? Do you care what I'm doing? Do you care if this is a good time for me to be listening to you? And why is that important? Because if I am preoccupied, I'm not going to be listening. So you are already worked up about something, and now you're dumping it on me, and I have something going on, and I can't be there for you. So what's going to happen? You're going to feel even worse. Imagine if you called and said, hi, I had something really important happen today. I'd love to share it with you. Is this a good time? You know what? Thank you for asking. It's actually not a good time because I'm in the middle of a TV show right here. But what if you were to get back with me and call in about an hour? Would that work for you? Yes, it would. Now, the other person may not be happy with the fact that you said you couldn't speak with them right now. And why is that? Because we're emotional beings. I've got to tell you right now. We act like children, jumping up and down. I need to tell you right now. No, you don't have to tell me right now. You need to calm yourself down, take some deep breaths, and then I'll speak with you in an hour, because unless it's an emergency, it's still going to be the same thing 1 hour from now as it is, correct? And then I can give you my undivided attention. Okay. Now, the setting boundaries and asking for permission is good for both parties because it's a commitment. It's a commitment that you and I have agreed. This is the time I'm giving you my space, my time, my attention. And that's something good for you. And it's also me making a commitment. I'm not going to be doing anything else. Now, what if you have a commitment with someone and they're doing something else? They're looking through their phone. They're not paying attention. They're not keeping their agreement. They're not listening at an elevated level. And you can call them out on that. And if that continues, then maybe that's not the person with whom you want to share. So you have the ability to pick the people in your life that you want to keep around, the people that are there for you, who are listening to you at an elevated level. So once again, I invite you to join our team. $39. Go over to drjacalyn.thinkific.com/collections. And as a result, you can be a team member at USA Global TV and Radio, and that opens the door for so many possibilities here. And you can be part of this TV show going forward. So thank you for being here for the first episode. I just wanted to introduce it to you and let you see who our elevated listeners are and thank each and every one of them. Also, we have all kinds of special opportunities like this. This is a new book that I have coming out with Mariska Duprier. We have co-authored it, and it's a book to teach children and their families elevated listening skills. And each of the animal characters on the book cover represents a real person. So for example, you see Caroline Heward, and then you see the owl up in the tree. Caroline is the main star in the book as the owl, Tara the white owl. So these animals have some challenges in this book, and they have to learn from Lady Ella, who is the ladybug, and she is the listening mentor. So she actually is me. I'm the listening mentor. And the book is dedicated to my great niece, Lady Ella Wilson. So as an elevated listener, as all these people are on this cover, they got the opportunity to be part of this project for children. So I again applaud you for listening, and thank you for taking the time to be here today. And again, please accept my invitation and join our team. And we'll be right back with our next show, which starts at the top of the hour. It's Entrepreneur and So Much More, starring Justin Rigliani. Thank you. Bye.